This conference will now be recorded.
Right. So today what we'll do is we'll understand how the course will go on. Okay. And what are the things we are going to discuss? What are the prerequisites to learn this ABAP and other things? So whatever queries you have, feel free to ask. You need not wait till the end of the session. In between the session also, any kind of queries. Since this is the first session, I may not get into the subject directly. I will just try to understand what exactly the SAP and what we are going to discuss. So anywhere, if you have any queries, you can unmute yourself and ask the question, or you can use the chat box. You need not wait till the end of the session. Okay. All the sessions will be interactive sessions, not only today's session, rest of the course also, everything will be interactive. Generally, questions will be taken at the end, but I don't recommend that. Wherever you have any queries, please stop me. You can unmute and ask, or else use a chat box. Okay. And what are the things we are going to discuss? All the sessions will be recorded. Okay. So you need not take anything during the live session. Just focus on the session itself. Okay. Focus on the flow of the program, all those things. Don't copy anything. Okay. Everything, whatever we discuss in the live session, will be shared on a day-to-day basis. So I'll discuss all those things. Right. So coming to this SAP ABAP, SAP ABAP is a technical module in SAP. It is a programming language. Okay. SAP comes under what? ERP. Okay. We have different ERP technologies in the market. Like we have SAP, we have Oracle apps, we have PeopleSoft, we have JD Edwards, we have BAN. Like that, we have many ERP models. So what is ERP? We don't know. Some of you might already have the experience on SAP, but I'll start from very zero level, very scratch level. I'll start so that those who are very new to SAP also, you'll understand what exactly is that. So those are already working on SAP functional models, or even if you're working in a web, you may feel boring for one or two sessions, but everything is important. Okay. So every ERP, SAP is the ERP product. In this SAP also, we have what different types of modules. We can classify into functional modules and technical modules. So what is functional, what is technical, we'll understand by the end of today's session. So this ABAP comes under a technical module. ABAP is a programming language for SAP. So as I told you, every ERP contains two types of modules, functional modules and technical modules. Okay. So your SAP also, I can categorize into different modules, like you can see here, functional modules, technical modules, and I can also say admin modules, administration modules. So this ABAP, whatever we are going to discuss, it comes under what? A technical module, which is completely programming. So what is the difference between this functional, technical, and admin module is, if you take functional modules, we have different function models: SAP FICO, finance and controlling, SAP sales and distribution, SAP CRM, SAP HR, human resources, customer relationship management, material management, plant maintenance, EWM, extended warehouse management. Like that, we have many modules, many functional modules. Functional means non-programming. Non-programming. So who will be going for this functional modules means, if you are from non-technical background, means if you are from MBA, ICWA, CA, MCOM, BCom, where you are not involved in programming, these background people will go for what? Will prefer what? Functional models, because it doesn't deal with what? Programming. If you are from technical background, that is if you are from BTech, MTech, MCA, MSc, BSc, BCA kind of thing, if you are from this background, then we have to get into what? Technical modules. The startup technical module in SAP is what? ABAP. Okay. And if you're not, this is completely programming. If you have interest on the programming only, we have to get into this particular SAP ABAP. Okay. And then we have something called as administration modules. We have again different administration models like basis, XI admin, ANA admin, EP admin, like that. We have different administration models. So administration model means where you'll be responsible for what? Installation of software, okay, creating users, setting permissions, taking backup, recovery of data, okay, all the admin related tasks you will do it in what? This administration models. Okay, admin related tasks means where you are responsible for installation of software at the client place, creating the users, user ID, password, setting the permissions, taking backup, applying patches, all kinds of administration tasks will be carried out by what? This particular basis consultants. Okay, so coming to this ABAP, as I told you, ABAP is a technical model. It is completely programming, and most of the people, what they'll think is to learn this ABAP, they should know C language or C++ or Java. If you know those things, understanding ABAP will be easy. But even if you don't know those things, even if you have zero knowledge in programming also, we can easily learn ABAP. So according to our course, I assume that we have zero knowledge in programming, based on that assumption we'll go ahead with the course. I mean, we'll start from very scratch level. So even if you don't know anything in C language, anything in C++, you can easily get into ABAP. But if you know those things, learning ABAP will become very easy. But it is not compulsory, it is not mandatory. So just don't keep in mind that you should know Java or you should know C++ to learn it. It's absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Even if you have zero knowledge in programming also, you can easily learn ABAP, but we should have interest on programming. We should have time for practice. Just attending the course will not give us a job, or you cannot benefit. If you're already working in the job, you cannot benefit in the job. You have to take some time for practice. Whether you are experienced or fresher also, you must practice. So if you have time for practice only, then only I recommend you have to get into what ABAP. It requires complete practice. Okay, we cannot discuss each and everything. This ABAP itself, we can discuss for 5 years. 5 years. It also becomes another PG course. Am I clear? So it is not possible to spend 5 years of time on a single course. So we are going to understand the main things. Based on those things, we should be able to explore what other things. Whenever a new requirement comes, based on our existing knowledge, we should explore the new things and we should be able to implement that new things. Okay. So coming to this ABAP, it is a purely programming language. It is a technical model, and this ABAP, according to our course, we have divided into three parts. This is our course curriculum. Okay, what is that? Core ABAP, OOPS ABAP, and what? Cross applications. So if you are projecting yourself as a ABAP consultant, either as a fresher or 10 years experience, we should know the concepts related to all these three submodules. Just like if you take Java, can you please mute your speakers? The person who has just logged in.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah. Please mute your speakers now.
sir.
Right click on your name and you can mute.
Okay, sir.
In the attendees list, right click on your name and you can mute. Bhavani, I think, right? Yeah, fine. So what we are trying to discuss, yeah, if you take this Java, we have something called as core Java, advanced Java, J2EE, J2ME. All are flavors of Java only. Similarly, according to our curriculum, according to Gens of Technologies, we have divided this ABAP into three submodules: core ABAP, OOPS ABAP, and cross applications. So if you are projecting yourself as ABAP consultant, either as a fresher or as an experienced consultant, okay, we are expected to know all the concepts related to these three submodules. Only core ABAP is not sufficient. Okay, in the interview point of view, there is nothing like core ABAP, OOPS ABAP. You may ask questions related to any of these three submodules. Okay, and don't, in the interviews, don't say that I know core ABAP, I know OOPS ABAP. We should say that we are from ABAP background. We know complete ABAP. When I say complete ABAP, all these concepts. So what is the duration of this is, If you take this core ABAP, it would take minimum about 60 to 70 hours to complete this particular core ABAP. If you take this OOPS ABAP, this would take minimum 40 to 40. I'm saying minimum because it may get extended also depending on your interest, my interest, depending on the questions you ask, all those things. Okay, depending on the questions you ask, I may need to explain what further example. So it depends on how interactive you are. Okay, similarly cross applications also, it would take another what 40 to 45 hours. So if you do this core ABAP, OOPS ABAP, cross apps one by one after the other. Okay, one by one if you do, okay, one by one if you do, minimum it takes 6 months, minimum 6 months to do this complete ABAP. When I say complete ABAP, these three: core ABAP, OOPS ABAP, and what, cross apps. Okay, but generally most of the people will not have that much of time to spend 6 months of time on single module. So what they'll do generally is they'll attend parallelly they'll attend. Okay, so if you attend parallelly, then we have a chance to complete in what, 4 to 4.5 months, or depends upon whether you are attending two modules parallelly or three modules parallelly. Depends. It will, I can say, at least 4 months we require. Okay, to complete these three sub modules parallelly. If you do all these three parallelly, so when I say parallelly, you cannot start attending all these three parallelly at a time, because to understand this OOPS ABAP or to understand this cross apps ABAP, this I can say advanced ABAP, you require some minimum knowledge on basic ABAP. So what I can say is, after 20 to 25 hours of what, core ABAP sessions, after 20 to 25 hours of core ABAP sessions, you will be in a position to attend what, OOPS ABAP and cross apps parallelly. From day one, you cannot understand all these three. So after 20 to 25 hours of core ABAP sessions, you can attend what, all these three things parallelly, OOPS or cross parallelly. You need to sorry, you need to attend them in other time slots. When I say other time slots, suppose this core ABAP, for this core ABAP, what is the timing we mentioned? 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. IST. So if you want to attend this OOPS ABAP and cross apps parallelly, okay, the timings would be generally, I'll be taking the sessions from morning 6 to 10 a.m. Only morning batch sessions. Evenings I don't take any sessions. So OOPS ABAP cross apps, after 1 month or so, means after 20-25 hours of core ABAP, you can start attending that anytime between 6 to 8:30. So every 1 month, every 45 days, I'll be starting a separate batch for OOPS ABAP or a separate batch for cross applications. So whenever we schedule that, we'll inform you. If you want to attend parallelly, you can attend that parallelly in other time slots. Core ABAP will continue same time. Suppose cross applications, I may start in March last week. So by that time, you'll be in a position to start attending parallelly, because you'll be done with some part of core ABAP. You can start attending these batches parallelly. So I'm planning to start cross apps batch somewhere in the March 3rd week or 4th week, morning 6 to 7 a.m., 6 to 7:15, something like that. So if you are interested, you can attend parallelly. And after that, maybe after a few, after 1.5 months or 2 months, I may start OOPS ABAP also, somewhere from what, 7:30 to 8:30 or 7:15 to 8:30. You can attend that also parallel. Like that, if you attend parallelly, all these three parallelly, then you can complete that in what, 4 months. So option is open to you, whether you want to do it one by one or whether you want to do parallelly. But I'm into this training from last, I can say around 15-16 years. This SAP also around 14-15 years. So most of the people will do it parallelly, because you may not have that much of 6 to 7 months of time to spend on single module. So if you do it parallelly, you can complete that in what, around 4 to 4.5 months. And classes would be officially from Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday. Okay. So If required, if it is possible for me and if it is convenient for everyone, we'll have the session on Saturdays and Sundays. Saturdays only majorly, in not immediately, maybe in near future. If it is possible for everyone, we'll have the session on Saturday also. So you can say Monday to Saturday, but generally it will be from Monday to Friday only. Monday to Friday only. Okay. So this is the plan, and daily we say 1 hour. Initially, we may discuss it for 1 hour, but once we get into the programming part of ABAP, once we start getting into the advanced part, 1 hour may not be sufficient. Definitely, it will be extended. So my suggestion is, if you are flexible, 1 to 1 hour 15 minutes, or up to 1 hour, 1.5 hour, that will be much better. Okay, so even we must not start exactly at 8:30. Definitely there will be a what time gap of some 10-15 minutes sometime, because previous to this batch I need to take another two batches. So definitely, depending on the doubts, the session might get extend. So it will not be possible for me to start the session exactly at 8:30. Anytime between 8:30 to 8:45 I'll be starting. So initially I may take it only till 9:30, but later on I may extend it for another 15-20 minutes. So my suggestion is, have a buffer time for 15-20 minutes. Okay. And apart from this, as I told you initially, I will not dictate any notes, or you need not copy anything during the live session. If I start dictating the notes, or if you copy something during the live session, course will go for 5 years. That is the reason. Don't copy anything, don't take anything. Everything whatever I discuss in the live session, I'll be sending it to what daily emails. And daily I'll be sending the email by end of day, not immediately after the class, because I need to prepare the material in my free time. There are many things. Okay. So by evening, generally I'll be sending the material. Okay. So material will be something like this. Suppose if I take my previous batch, for example, okay, suppose which I started in December probably. Yeah, December. So core ABAP in December batch. So topic wise, whatever we discuss, I'll be sending that. Okay, topic wise, suppose internal tables topic is there. So what are the sessions I cover on a day-to-day basis, with the program, with the diagram, everything. So you need not copy anything. Everything I'll be sending it throughout email, the programs, everything as it is. So just focus on the live session. Don't waste time in copying the program. You cannot catch up. Okay, I'll be typing it fast. Okay, so if you start taking this parallelly, our focus is only on taking the program. So I'll not waste time in dictating all these things. Everything I'll be sending it through email, the notes, everything. Suppose internal table notes, so I'll be sending in the Word file. Everything I'll be sending it through on a daily basis. You can refer to this material. You need not refer to any other material. What are the material I share it, that is more than sufficient to get the job as well as to survive in the job. Okay. So topic wise, I'll be sending the material, notes, diagram, all those things. And as an additional service, this is an additional service, we'll be sending the daily recordings. Okay, we'll be sharing the daily recordings. That recordings is not downloadable. We'll be uploading that in the Google Drive for preview access. Okay, we'll uploading day-wise recording in the Google Drive for preview access. You cannot download it. You can only log in and you can preview that video, but you cannot download. It's not. It is an additional service. And how long this recordings will be there means, it will be available during the course plus additional few months, additional 2-3 months. Okay, after that also, if required, on the request base, if you send a request to our Gensoft team, on the request base, they'll extend that one. Okay, but it's not permanent. But don't worry about the recordings. We'll share it as long as you want, but we'll not do it at a time. We'll keep on extending depending on the request base. It is not downloadable. It is only an additional service. And one more point, uh, there are many of my videos which are uploaded in the social network. Okay, Instagram, Udemy or YouTube, whatever it is, we have not uploaded that videos. Okay, some what participants who are attending my training sessions from so many years, they might have shared with their friends. Those people might have uploaded that on the social network and they're selling it. Okay, they're selling it for some amount. We don't have any tie-ups with those things. We don't upload any videos on that, and those are all old videos, 2018, 2017. So there's a lot of change from that and current one. Okay, so we are nowhere responsible with the videos which are uploaded on the social network. Why I'm stressing on this point is, daily our admin team will get the call saying that I have taken the videos on Udemy and it is not playing properly, or this video is missing, that video is missing. We are not responsible. We have not done any uploading, and we don't share the recordings on the social network. Whichever students registers with our course for the live session, for those students only on a day-wise basis, we'll be sharing the recordings, and those recordings will be available during the course plus additional 3 months. After that also, on the request base, okay, it will be extended. But we don't have any tie-up with any social network. I'm stressing on this point. Okay, and those are all the old videos. Batch to batch, there will be lots of change. Okay, depending on the participants, I may change the scenarios, examples. If I feel that some topic they are not using in the industry, I may delete the topic, I may focus on some other topic. So batch to batch, definitely there will be changes. It is not cut copy paste kind of thing. Okay, if it is the same thing, I can open the existing programs, I can explain. No, I will not do that. Every session I will type the program in front of you so that you'll understand the flow, how to start, how to perform the processing. All those things we'll do it in the live session. I will not open the existing program and I'll not explain it line by line. No, I'll type it in front of you so that you'll understand the flow, because in the project you are responsible for developing the object from the scratch. So we should know from where to start, how to what to write in that object, and how to end that object. So that entire flow we'll be discussing. Okay, so this is my side about the course, about the submodules, materials on a day-to-day basis. I'll be sending it throughout email, which is downloadable. I'll be sending this on a day-to-day. Suppose if I take the existing batch only, or yeah, if I take the existing batch, ABAP and a batch, for example, okay, I'm discussing this concept. So day wise, whatever I discuss, I'll be sending the material, diagrams, everything. Okay, day wise, suppose CDSUs, I'll add one more folder here, 24th February or 25th February. In that folder, I'll add that Word file or pictures, whatever it is, and on a day-to-day basis, I'll send the complete folder. Always refer to the latest email. If any changes are there, you'll get that in the latest email. So this is about the material and the recordings uploading in the Google Drive. And ABAP is a programming part. If you have interest in programming only, you have to get into ABAP, and you don't require any prior knowledge for doing this ABAP. Even if you are poor in C language, C plus Java, not an issue, but you should have time for practice. Okay, so these are the things from my side. Any queries, please ask one by one. Any kind of questions.
Yeah, hi Sridhar, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Sanju, tell me.
Yeah, Sridhar, actually I was been there as a part of your core ABAP in 2018. And now
Okay.
actually I want to learn inline declarations. Is the topic covered inline declarations
Yeah,
on 7.5 syntaxes?
that's what I said. Batch to batch, definitely there will be changes. What are the latest
Yeah,
trends are there in the market? We'll be discussing that. Means directly we'll not get into that. We will discuss the old
yeah.
syntax as well as the new syntax, so that comparison will be there. Okay, we'll be discussing.
Okay.
Yes.
Because yeah, I have seen the course content in that it was not included. That is why
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
asking.
I have not updated that, Sanju, but yes, I'm covering that from last couple of years, basically. Okay, inline
Okay,
declarations.
okay, okay. Fine, fine. And
Yeah.
this performance tools part also will be covered.
Yes, yes, yes. At the end of the course, once we are done with Core ABAP, Ops we'll be discussing that SC30 performance analysis, SQL trace, all those things. Yes, we'll be
SAP.
discussing. Yes,
I mean,
we'll be discussing.
after core ABAP, is it possible to discuss on that? Because OOPS ABAP and all means I'm not at that stage.
Hmm.
So because I'm in support project now.
Yeah, yeah.
So that performance.
We'll be discussing after completing majority of core ABAP, not complete core ABAP. In between only, we may need to check the performance of the report. So at that time, I'll be using those tools. Yes, answer is yes. I'll be using. In core ABAP only,
Okay.
I'll cover it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. What's your name? Sorry, your full name?
My name is Satish Kumar.
Satish. Okay. You have done in
Yeah.
2018, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 2018.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Fine. Fine.
And your training is really helped me a lot. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now
Thank
I'm part of Accenture. Because of your training only, I got the confidence.
you. Okay. Okay. Good.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. See, one thing is getting job is easy, losing job is also easy. I'm telling to everyone, getting job is easy, losing job is also easy. Okay. So once we get the job, those are new to SAP, I'm talking about them. We should be able to survive in the job. And one more thing is, yeah, this is also important. I might have not discussed. Suppose here, assume that you people might have done your BTech or MSc, MCA, MS, whatever it is in 2018, 2017 or 2014, 2015, whatever it is. Now, all these years, you're working on some other background. Now you have decided to get into this SAP ABAP. Someone might have suggested, or whatever it is, you have decided to come to what SAP ABAP. You don't have any real experience in ABAP. So how do you project means after completing this ABAP training? When I say ABAP training, I mean to say all the three core plus OOPS plus cross. After completing this, what you have to do is you have to project experience on this ABAP. You have to say that you're having some 3 to 4 years of experience in ABAP. Okay, so based on that, you have to project yourself. Don't project yourself with a fresher means if you have passed out in 2021 or if you are going to pass out in 2022 or even 2020 also, they can still be considered a fresher. But before that, you cannot justify. You have to project some experience. Okay, and what about this experience? Who will give this experience means we will not give any experience. We are only into training. I'm stressing on this point. We are only into training. We don't give any experience letters. We don't give any fake experience. Okay, you need to take it from your end, from outside vendors. There are many vendors available in the market who will give this experience. They'll charge some amount and they'll project this experience and they'll manage everything, but we don't have any tie-ups with them and we don't give it anything from our end. We are only into training. So why I'm stressing on this point is, don't worry about this experience. You will get many vendors in the market. In the market, you can contact them. Okay, they'll take some amount and you can project the experience. Why I'm saying this is, in IT industry, I can say 80 to 90% in consultants, not only SAP I'm talking, other technologies also. Okay, they'll project some experience and they might have got job. Everyone will not get the job through campus placement. Even myself also, I also projected some experience initially. Okay, I didn't join as a fresher. I projected some experience 15, 16 years back on this SAP ABAP and got into this. Understood? Similarly, you also, those are having gap, I'm telling about them. So after doing this training, you have to project this experience. Depends upon your confidence level in the subject. How much experience you have to project means depends upon the gap you are projecting. If you are having 10 years of gap, for example, or last 10 years you are working on some other module. So if you want more opportunities, put more experience. If you're having the gap, put more experience. Don't scare with that. After completing this training, you can strongly project that you are having some 5, 6 years experience, real-time experience, and you can attend the interviews. Attend the interviews, fail the interviews. I'm not saying that you'll get the job in the first interview. You must attend the interviews, fail few interviews, then you'll understand what kind of questions the interviewer is expecting, on which topics they are focusing, all those things. And one more point, only this ABAP is sufficient. I means, yes, if you are a fresher or if you're projecting some 3 to 4 years of experience, I can say ABAP is sufficient. But again, as the experience grows on, you have to get into other modules. ABAP plus what? UI5, okay, or ABAP plus ANA, okay, or ABAP plus something EWM technical. Understood? Like that, only ABAP is not sufficient. As the experience grows on, we must compulsory get into what other model. Suppose assume that in the next 10 years, I cannot say that you can work only as ABAP. There are many consultants who are still able to survive, but in the current market where you'll have lots of competition, if you want to get more opportunities and if you're having any gap, you have to get into what multiple models. So what I mean to say is, even if you're projecting some 3 to 4 years or 4 to 5 years experience, just do ABAP initially, attend the interviews, you'll understand whether they're expecting other modules or not. So depending on that, you decide what module you have to learn. So which module is good means I say all modules in SAP are good. Since I'm teaching ABAP, I cannot say ABAP is good, other modules are bad. Any module which suits you, depending on your academic background and past experience, you have to get into other modules. But if you want to get into other technical modules, if you want to get into other technical models, the base is what ABAP. What I'm trying to say is, most of the people in the industry, okay, suppose they are working as ABAP consultants. For example, with experience, I'm saying, assume that you're working as ABAP consultant from last 7 to 8 years. It's a real-time experience, a genuine experience. It's a genuine experience. But what could have happened is, this consultant might have got opportunity to work only on the topics related to the core ABAP. So in core ABAP, I may have BDCs, I may have reports, I may have smart forms, like that. Okay, I may have module pool, something like this. So in all this 7 to 8 years experience, I may got opportunity to work only on these concepts, which are related to what? Core ABAP, which are related to core ABAP. So what happens now? Since you have not used OOPS related concepts in the last 7 to 8 years, we'll have a feeling that OOPS is not required because we are able to survive. Yes, because it depends on your project, depending on the opportunity we get. Now, suddenly what happens is, since you're having that much of experience, they will say that you get upgrade into ANA module, or they may give training on ANA. So if you want to get into this ABAP ANA, which is again a separate module, the base is what OOPS ABAP. For some of the topics in ABAP ANA, not for all the topics, for some of the topics in ABAP ANA, you require what? OOPS concepts, which will be covered as part of OOPS ABAP. So what I'm trying to say is, in last 7 to 8 years, you're working as a ABAP consultant and you got opportunity to work only on these topics which are related to core ABAP. Now suddenly you want to change the job. So at that time you realize that only ABAP is not sufficient. Someone will say your friend will say, or some references they'll say that you learn ANA or UI5. So what we will do, we will try to learn ANA and UI5 or UI5 or both, whatever it is. For both these things, we should be very strong in object oriented. So what happens, we'll start getting into this ABAP ANA. After doing some part of ANA or some part of UI5, you will realize that you require strong knowledge on what? Object oriented. So again, what you will do, will again join what? OOPS ABAP. Will again join what? OOPS ABAP. So my suggestion is, don't do reverse things. There are many consultants who are working in the industry who are attending this ABAP ANA and UI5. My current students only I'm talking about. Okay, they're attending this ABAP and UI5. They're having some 10 to 12 years experience in ABAP, but they really never got opportunity to work on OOPS concepts. So they are very poor in OOPS. So when I talk about anything related to OOPS in ANA and UI5, they'll be blank. They'll not understand anything. Then at that time they'll realize that they have to learn OOPS ABAP and then they have to learn. They'll do the reverse thing. That is why what I'm saying is, be strong in these three areas: basic ABAP, OOPS ABAP, and cross ABAP. Then you think of what? Other modules, other SAP technical modules. Most of the SAP technical modules are based on object oriented. So in your resume also, the first bullet point, I stress this in every batch, the first bullet point in your resume should be, if you're projecting yourself as a ABAP consultant, you have to say that you have strong exposure to what? Object oriented programming language. Strong exposure to object oriented. Then only they'll have a confidence that you are strong in object oriented. They can take you and they can put it in, they may give some initial, some few weeks of training on ANA or UIFA, they'll put you in that projects. If you say that you're having 7 years of experience in ABAP, and if you say that you don't have much exposure to object oriented, doesn't look nice. So he cannot place you in ANA and what UIFA project. You cannot justify that. That's the reason. Be strong in object oriented. I'm stressing on this. Be strong in object oriented so that you can easily play with what other technical modules, right? But there are many consultants in the industry who might have what 7 to or more than that also in ABAP, but they rarely never got an opportunity to work in object oriented. But when they get into these things in future, they'll have a difficulty. That's the reason. If you are aiming for these things, first of all, be strong in what object oriented. And in this also, there might be some functional consultants who are attending this ABAP. Functional consultant means what? Who are not from what ABAP background, who are not from technical background. So what they will do, assume that they are working as a functional consultant for last few years, 2 years or 10 years, whatever it is. Now they have started realizing that they require ABAP knowledge. Okay, so every time what happens in the industry is functional consultant, every time you will come to what ABAP consultant to get clarification on some technical issues. Okay, understood. So it should not be a scenario. As the experience grows on, you should able to work as what techno-functional consultants. Techno-functional consultant means I'm talking about mainly about functional consultant. Throughout our career, you may not be able to work only as functional consultant. As the experience grows on, you have to project yourself as what? Techno-functional. For every technical issue, we should not be dependent on the ABAP team. We should able to analyze something. We should able to at least give some inputs on that. Even though you may not be involved in what resolving that issue, at least in the team meetings, you should able to give some input saying that you're having the issue at so and so place, go to that object, try to implement that logic. So if you want to talk those things, we should have some knowledge in ABAP also. So again, from last 3-4 years, I'm observing there are many functional consultants who are getting into ABAP training because only functional module is not sufficient. They have to get into what? Techno-functional. You have to project yourself as a techno-functional consultant. Similarly, as an ABAP consultant, you may not be able to do justification on this functional model. That's why as the experience grows on, we have to get into other technical models. ABAP plus UI5, ABAP plus ANA, ABAP plus EWM, ABAP plus workflow. Depending on your knowledge, depending on the requirement, you have to get upgraded to what? Other technical models. Yeah. Any questions, please ask me. I have not given chance to ask questions, but now I'm asking. Any questions, please ask. Yes, Karthik.
Hi, Sridhar. My name is Karthik. Okay, as rightly you mentioned, I'm a function consultant. Okay, so and I thought like I need to learn a ABAP. Why? Because I got a project so where it involves more a technicality where I need to understand. Okay, so I think the course which mentioned by you is going to cover that areas. And that mean like I'm not saying like it's not related to project area, but as a functional I can understand the core ABAP area.
Yeah. So yeah, good point. So see here, after completing this training, you can project yourself as a pure ABAP consultant, or if you're already working as a functional consultant, you can project yourself as a techno-functional consultant. Techno-functional.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
being a functional consultant, your focus should be mainly on basic ABAP and cross apps. Topics related to
Okay.
basic ABAP and cross app. I'm not saying
Okay.
that OOPS is required. OOPS is not required.
O-
OOPS is also
Okay.
required, but since you are very new to the programming, you
Okay.
initially focus on basic ABAP and cross apps. Once
Okay.
you feel comfortable, then you think of what OOPS about. OOPS is also mandatory, but since
Okay.
you are from functional background, you prioritize yourself.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah,
Fine. Thank you, Sridhar.
yeah. And one more thing, yeah, this is also important. See, there might be some functional consultant who are attending this training. Generally what happens is they'll feel they'll have some technical issues in the project. They'll realize that they want some knowledge in ABAP. So someone will suggest that you get into debugging, you get into developing function
That's
models.
true.
So they'll, yeah, yeah,
That's true.
they'll, yeah, yeah, they'll talk about some specific topics. Okay. Again, it is not possible to directly get into these topics without knowing the basics. Okay, so that is the reason you start from core ABAP, start from very basic level. Generally our tendency will be to focus on debugging, function models, subroutines, or enhancements in cross application. We'll be focusing on these areas, but without knowing basics you cannot understand ABCs of this also. So don't be in a hurry. I'm telling to everyone, do it from the zero level. So from the core ABAP, I'll assume that we are very having zero knowledge on programming. I'll start from very basic level. Basic level I'll start. From that basic level, slowly we'll get into what advanced level, so that even if you are new to programming also you can easily cope up. Even if you are already having experience in ABAP, you can play with ABAP. That's what I want to convey. Yeah. Any other
Fine.
questions?
Thank you, Caesar.
Yeah.
And so I have heard about some certification also.
Yeah. Who is this? Mathura? Preksha Mathura.
Preksha, yeah, Preksha.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. See this certification, I'll come to that. So most of the people will have a feeling saying that you do certification, but personally what I feel is certification will not give us a job. You should be very good in
Okay.
subject. So once you are good in the subject, certification is not mandatory. In case if you want to do the
Okay.
certification also, after completing
Mhm.
this complete ABAP, core ABAP, OOPS ABAP and cross apps, yes, you can do the certification. Not an issue, but certification is
Okay.
not mandatory. Certification is not mandatory.
Okay.
What is the advantage of certification means? See here, suppose assume that I'm a ABAP consultant. You can mute your speakers, Preksha. Some
Yeah,
disturbance
yeah.
is coming. So assume that we have two ABAP consultants, ABAP consultant 1, ABAP consultant 2. Okay. Assume that this guy is projecting some what 5 years of experience. Okay. This guy is projecting some 4 years of experience, and this guy is certified. This guy is certified. Both are having equal knowledge in the interview point of view. Both are having equal knowledge. So even though this guy has got less years experience, since he is certified, obviously the preference will be given to this guy. So certification is an what add-on, but is not mandatory. That's what. Forget about certification at this stage. If you say that you are strong in object oriented, certification not at all required. But if you have time, if you have money, you can do the certification. I'm not stopping that, but it's not compulsory. 90 to 95% of consultants working in the industry are not certified. Okay, so don't worry about that certification. You can think of that certification after becoming strong in the subject. Certification, how much it costs means it depends upon what level you are attending. So I can say around 35 to 40,000. 35 to 40,000. Again, the price may change period to period. 35 to 40,000. Okay, only for
Okay.
certification.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other doubts, others? Okay, and one more point, as I told you, classes will be from Monday to Friday, but since this is the first week, I'll take the session tomorrow also. Tomorrow also I'll take the session. Tomorrow, that is Saturday, I'll take the session same time, 8:30 a.m. IST. I'll be starting with what introduction of SAP and introduction of ABAP. What is SAP, what is ABAP, what we are going to discuss in this ABAP, all those things we'll start discussing from tomorrow onwards. Okay, today I have not started anything related to subject, just we understood the entire course plan, the prerequisites, the duration, how the course will go on, what materials, recordings will share, everything. So actual subject related thing will start from tomorrow. And initial I can say 3 to 4 sessions. Initial 3 to 4 sessions will be theory only, will be theory. Okay. After that, rest of the course for Core ABAP, Oops App, it will be everything what programming part only. Only for the first 3 to 4 days, it will be theory. After that, it is completely practical part, programming part only. And one more thing, I forgot this also. Server access. Do we provide any server access? Means no. No. We don't provide any server access from our side. We are purely into training. See why we don't take this headache like providing server access, giving this a fake experience, all those things is our agenda will be lost. So we are only focused on the training part. So how do you practice this means there are many vendors available in the market, many vendors in the market. If you want, I'll share their contact details also. You can directly contact them. They will provide their server access, remote server access means they'll have the server in their own place. Okay, you can connect to the server remotely through internet, remote server access, and they'll charge some 500 to 600 rupees per month. You can take it on monthly basis, or another solution is, I'm talking about Hyderabad, the participants. If you're in Hyderabad, if you go to Amirpet, if you go to Amirpet, there are many vendors there who will install this software in your laptops or desktop or your hard disk, whatever it is. Again, they'll charge some, I don't know the cost, but around 500 to 1000 rupees they'll charge for installation. This is one-time installation. In case if you want this software to be get it installed in your machine, you can go for this, or else you can go for remote server access month-wise. You can do it. This is month-wise. If you enroll it at a time for 3 to 4 months, they may give some concession also. We are not we are no way concerned with that. You have to talk with them separately. We don't have any tie-ups with them. If you want, from my side, I'll provide vendor details. Because how do I know that vendor means? Whatever the server I am going to use, that also is a rental server. I don't have any SAP system installed in my laptop. In my place, I'll be taking the classes from different locations. I'll be traveling. Okay, so I'll be connecting to the server remotely, and I'm using the server from last 14-15 years. So I don't face any issues. Sometimes if the server is down, you may have the issues, but very rarely. In case if you have an issue also, you can directly contact them or drop a mail to them. They'll rectify it. But 95 to 99%, you will not have any issues with the server. Once I start with the programming part, if you want, I'll share the vendor details. You can directly contact them, or if you have your own source, you can directly contact them. Okay, this is only an additional service from our Gensoft side or from my side. We don't have any tie-ups. Remember one thing, we don't have any tie-ups. We are only into training. Okay, yeah. Any other questions? So what are the server I am using? Suppose I'll be using many servers, because for ANA we require a separate server. For UI5 we require a server. This is a normal ABAP server which I'll be using, which I'll be logged in and using that. Similarly, separate server for ANA, separate server for UI5. That ANA server UI5 you don't require at this stage. When you get into those modules, you can go for that ANA server or UI5 server. That ANA server cost would be will be more. It will be around 800 to 1000 rupees per month. For normal this Core ABAP, Oops ABAP and Cross Apps, even those are functional consultant, you can practice your functional related things also in this normal ABAP server. Okay, so this is the thing.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have a small concern. Can we get any, mock projects or something for our practice?
Yeah, I'll clarify that also. See here, some training institutes, what they'll say is course plus live project, okay, course plus real-time project, It is all rubbish. No one can give the project. No one can give the project, first of all. But what I mean to say is, during our course, when we get into advanced part, what are the scenarios we discuss, mostly in what OOPS ABAP and cross apps, OOPS ABAP and cross apps, and even in core ABAP also. For the first 25 to 1 month, you will not have any real-time scenarios. We'll understand only the conceptual things. But after 1 month of core ABAP, when you get into reports concept, when you get into BDCs, when you get into module pole programming, when you get into smart forms, what are the examples we discuss in the live session, you assume that are the real-time scenarios only. Same scenarios you can modify here and there, and you can put it as it is in your resume. Okay, but if anyone is promising that they'll give project, it's just cheating people. Project cannot be given to individual. Project will be done by hundreds of people together for years of time. Okay, in that project, see, we are not involved in the complete project now. In that project, we are responsible for developing some objects. Whatever an ABAP consultant develops, we call them as what? Objects. That objects anyhow will be covering it during the live session, and that you can put it as it is in the resume with some slight changes. Depending on your practice level, you can do the changes and you can put it in your resume. So don't worry about that project kind of thing. Whatever we discuss, we'll be discussing the real-time scenarios, but not immediately. For the first 3 to 4 weeks, we'll understand only the conceptual things. Once we are done with those concepts, we'll combine all those concepts together and we'll start using them in these topics. At that time, we'll be getting into the real-time scenarios. Sajad, hope it's clear. Okay, so forget about the project kind of thing. Whatever we discuss, the real-time scenario. After completing this training, you can project some 10 years of experience also, and you can attend the interviews. That confidence I am giving you. And one more point related to placement. Yeah, let me clarify this also. Do you provide any placement? Means no. Again, there are many institutes who will say course plus what placement assistance, close course plus job guide. It is all again what making fool of others. Understood? No one can give you the job. No one can place you. Once you are good in the subject, you need not depend on me. You need not depend on any other one. Just prepare the resume, upload the resume. You'll get the calls, attend the interviews, fail the interviews. At some point of time, you'll get the job automatically. See, I am into this SAP technical modules training. When I say technical modules, I deal with all these things: core, OOPS, okay, cross apps, WebDim Pro, okay, what else? UI5 front end, UI5 back end, okay, what else? ABAP, ANA, understood? Like that, many technical models. For the last 14, 15 years, I'm dealing with these models. I have not placed any of my single student, to be fair, but I can proudly say 90 to 95% of my participants who have taken training from me, they got job by themselves. And you believe it or not, initially they'll do this ABAP. When I say ABAP, this core ABAP, OOPS across apps, then as the experience grows on, they are learning this all the other modules with me only. I have not placed anyone, they got job by themselves. So again, placement assistants, don't trust those tags. This is only cheating people. Subject guarantee, I'll give the subject guarantee that is more than sufficient to get the job as well as to survive in the industry. Okay, so forget about that getting job also. You will get the job automatically once you are what strong in the subject. Yes, any other queries, please? Sajad, I hope I answered your query about the project. Yeah, any other queries, please? Right, so if you don't have any questions, fine. So tomorrow, that is Saturday, we'll have the session same time around 8:30. And again, don't expect the meeting ID exactly at 8:30. Between 8:30 to 8:45, I'll be sending the meeting ID, but be ready by 8:30. Start checking your emails from 8:30 daily. It's not the same meeting ID. Every day the meeting ID will be changing. So I need to generate that meeting ID and I'll send it to your emails on a daily basis. So tomorrow we'll start with this SAP and the introduction of ABAP and all those things. Chalo. If you don't any questions, I'll wind off. Any queries, please? Done? No questions? Chalo. Thanks everyone. We'll meet tomorrow at 8:30.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.